Hello, welcome to today's stream. Right, let's get my screen shared. This one. Cool. So today I am going to do bad things to a Linux machine running on Packet Cloud. As you can see, I have one bare metal server running called Breaking Linux. And the point of today's stream is not for me to fail miserably and make an arse of myself, but instead to try and make some common, easily made mistakes on a Linux distribution and show how Packet's tooling can help you recover from a lot of different mistakes, failures, etc. I did solicit some feedback on Twitter for things I could do to this machine. Y'all are pretty harsh. I don't plan on breaking this beyond some network errors, deleting some core files, things that I can fix relatively quickly. It doesn't mean that larger problems or bigger mistakes can't be fixed through these tools. It's just I don't want you watching me spend an hour pulling down deb files from a remote host and trying to reprovision a machine inline. Right? Nobody wants to see that. Well, at least not today, because we also have KubeCon today, and I want to finish in time to go watch that. So if you do have ideas for things you want me to try and break and recover from, please leave a comment on Twitch or YouTube or tweet me, and I will take on as many of them as I can. But first, let's get a lay of the land. And if someone can tell me if I'm sounding and broadcasting okay, that would be appreciated. Okay, so we have, yeah, that root password is pointless. You still need the SSH key, so it doesn't matter if you see it. So I need to plug in my YubiKey to connect to this machine. And what I want to do is grab this IP address, and we will just jump onto this machine and try and break it in a pretty quickly repairable fashion. So we're going to do SSH-L root and the IP address. My project does have does reuse a lot of IP addresses, so I just delete the whole known hosts. I'm not fussed. SSH, YubiKey, push the button, and we are in. So there's nothing going on this machine. I provisioned it with Ubuntu 2004, and I think what we'll do is I don't really use Ubuntu much as well, so there's an interesting thing. Is the network configured where I would expect it to be? Look at interfaces. Yeah, there we go. So, do I have them? Oh, we're off the flying start. Okay. So, Packet, when you provision a server, configures the networking for you. So you get, depending on how you provision the server, of course. So in fact, let's just back up a little minute and take a look at this new server page. So we can say Amsterdam, C1 large ARM, you pick your OS, and then down here you have the ability to kind of disable public IPv4 address and IPv6. So by default, you get one of each. You can disable them, and that's what we have in our interfaces file. So we can see this is the IP address that I actually use to SSH into this machine. There's my IPv6, and then we have my local subnet for this facility. So that's Amsterdam 1. So let's break it. What I want to do is put this in a position where it's probably going to cut me off of SSH. And then we'll try and go through the debugging steps, or the steps that we need to actually fix this. We don't need to debug it. I know what I'm breaking, hopefully. So what if we just change the IP address? I would suspect that will break things. And we could restart networking. So system D, restart. Is it system D network or is it network manager? Just do that. And it is broken. Perfect. I never thought I'd be so happy to break a machine. So let's copy this IP address, and eventually that will kick me off. We'll jump into a new temporary directory, and we are out. I would not expect this to work, because that's not the IP address that packet gave me. So right now, we are completely locked out of this machine. Wonderful. Okay, what can we do? So we have at Packet provided the serial console over SSH, which means I can click on this out-of-band console, copy this link, pop over here, and hit go. Push YubiKey. I just have a weird SSH alias that tries to inject some term info, so I just need to escape that. And we are in. So this is the I always panic. Yeah, definitely panicking. Because I just missed the root password. So I actually probably have two things that I need to fix now. I do not believe I can log into this machine. Oh no, it's back. Whew. So that's good that if you just miss it, you can get it back. Anyway, so next to networking, we can log into this machine. Networking, network, and modify our interfaces file again. We can put back this 7, and we will restart networking. And hopefully, we're back. Good. So, that was like what, 10 minutes I've been in. So, the serial over SSH is a really great way to get back into your machine. Okay, what's next? Well, what if what if I didn't know that root password? Let's tackle that. So if I refresh the screen, the password's going to come back, right? Okay, so for 24 hours, Packet is very kindly going to show me that this root password is available should I need it. However, what if I'm feeling pretty silly? So I can't just type anything because I need to type it twice. So let's just copy that. Well, the IPv6 address I can get back, right? Yeah. Let's go random string. I'm putting far too much effort into this, but get you, and then paste, and then copy. So I've gone. I now do not know this root password, even if I really genuinely needed it. Let's remodify our interfaces file. And we're going to break this again. And restart networking. Run my history. So I'm still logged in down here. So let's log out. And I'm now 100% locked out of this system. And I do not know the root password. So now the serial over SSH isn't going to do anything for me. That's a pickle. So what options do we have now? Well, what do we have available to us? Well, I still have my YubiKey. So I still have a way to authenticate with the serial over SSH. I just don't have the root password. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to keep our serial over SSH connection alive, and that should actually allow us to track the reboot that I'm about to initiate, which means I'm hoping, and yeah, this will work. I'm going to hit OK, and we're going to see this machine over the serial console. Yep, there we go. It's now rebooting. And we're going to see the bootloader too. We're going to see GRUB. And that's really powerful because if I have access to GRUB, I can modify the boot. And we can do something to modify how the system boots to get us in a position where we can just put it into a shell, mount the disk, and change the root password. He says, hopefully. I'm sure you can all hear the confidence in my voice. Now, this is something I've done a million times with a physical machine. You know, you run Linux long enough, you break it to the point where you always have a live CD available so that you can at least boot something on that machine, mount a disk, and start doing your best to fix things. And this should, in theory, be no different. Should I, woulda, coulda. Okay, so I can see Pixie boot now, which means GRUB is coming. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, might as well grab some tea. There's GRUB. So we push the arrow, stop the auto boot. And we've got two options right now. So single user mode is just changing the run level that the machine will boot up to. I would still need the root password. So it's not quite what we want. So I'm going to hit E to edit this. And this is going to look really crappy just because, you know, serial over SSH is not going to be fantastic, but definitely functional enough. Okay, so we want to find the kernel line. There we go. So we want to modify this. Well, it's going to be a little bit slow, but we'll get there. So the first thing I want to change is, I'm pretty sure RO can become RW. Well, maybe not necessary. Oh, come on. All right, I'm going back now. Try not to push it too many times. And okay. The delete key sequence is not recognized. That's going to break the boot. Okay, let's try. Okay, so Control E, good. So there's a parameter we can specify where we say init in bash. Yeah, that's going to work. Where's this? Oh, no. I've broken it. Right, so my delete key is not going to do what I want. Oh. Okay, let's hope that's right. Yeah, so it wasn't enter I wanted, it was Control X. And we're crossing everything we've got right now. A wiser man would have tested this before streaming it to an audience of people. Let's just close this tab just now so we can get a look. Okay. So we have a bash shell and we have SDA3 mounted. So we are on the actual disk. Let's go take a look first at our interfaces file. It's definitely what we expect. We have the 5. Okay. So, I mean, let's just fix that while we're here for the, just to rule that one out now. Otherwise, I'll forget about it later and then be like, what have I done? So, now password. So, passwords on Linux. We have in one of two places. I wouldn't expect it to be here yet, so that means password is not in the path.wd file, which means we're going to find it in shadow. There we go, our salted password. No, I don't recall if I run this, will it ask for the old one? I didn't when we broke it, right? Good. So let's just set it to does it matter? I keep trying to think of anything I set this to, because depending on what I do next, do I open up this machine to other people? I don't think I ever do. So I'm just going to set it to password 123. So insecure, it's secure because people don't try to hack or brute force it anymore. That's my theory. So we now have fixed the interfaces file. We've reset the root password, and I'm going to reboot this machine once more. Oh yeah, there's no my pid one is bash. So let's just reboot this from here. Let's just power cycle it. And we should see this reboot. We're still on the serial over SSH line. One hopes. Undo my bidding. What else could I do? Maybe I just exit. Oh, kernel panic. What have I done? Okay, let's see. Power off, please. Maybe I'm just being too impatient. Let's kind of, do we get some sort of status to tell us if the machine is off? Oh, we got, oh yeah, there we go. So powering off. Ah, ta-da, nice. So, afternoon. Howdy, hackers. So this machine still powering off. So we'll give that 30 seconds, I guess. We'll spin it back up, and then we're going to do one more failure scenario. What did we cover? We covered breaking interfaces, using the serial over SSH. We covered forgetting the root password or being beyond the 24 hours where Packet is kind enough to tell us what the root password is. We reset the root password by modifying the boot system, but all of that relied on this, my YubiKey. So let's take this out of the picture. I guess we've all done that at one point or another. We've generated, let's start this back up before I ramble at you. Push play, yep, that's the one. What do we do if I don't have access to this key anymore? Or even if it's the, the key you generate on your machine, what's our next steps? So we do have an option there too. So what I'm going to do is assume I've already lost my YubiKey. We're going to try and SSH back into our machine. OS might just not be healthy yet. We'll just leave that. Let's just generate a new key. We've lost our old key. We need a new key. Let's save this here. So local TMP key. The passphrase, and we now have 2 keys. I'll just make that bigger. Maybe I should have made that bigger earlier. I need to remember that. Okay, and if we come back up here, let's just turn on some verbosity. Okay, so our OS is still coming to terms with itself. I fixed networking, right? I did. I definitely did. It'll totally be fine. What are my other options other than probably just being patient, which I'm not doing. So, question from Rain. Which version of Linux is this running? This was Ubuntu 20. So just it's one of the fast operating systems available on Packet. Fast, I think, means that it provisions in under 1 or 2 minutes. I'm sure if we well, let's give that another minute and we'll come back to that. I can always reboot it if necessary. But when you go to spin up an operating system or a server with an operating system, some of them do have the star. And that just means, yeah, there we go. Deploys in 60 seconds. So Ubuntu 2004 is nice and quick and the machine gets healthy quickly. All right, so is this still broken? Okay. What about my out-of-band console? My SSH. Yep. Machine still doing. How did I SSH? Oh, I generated keys earlier. Sneaky. There's nothing up my sleeves. Okay, that machine looks good now. So I had to quit that. Wait. All right, let's just get a new tab open. I'm not going to waste time trying to remember how to work a terminal. So go back to my temp directory because I want these keys. What I'm going to do is just make sure this is definitely broken. Now that I've removed, yep, there we go. So we no longer have serial over SSH access. I no longer have standard access. We have no way to get onto this machine. So let's try caching this. We're going to come to my SSH key settings. I can delete that test one as I've already deleted it locally. We'll add this, test 2, wonderful name, and go. Now, maybe this is going to be a lot easier than I thought, but I don't think serial over SSH updates in real time with those keys, but I could be wrong. Okay. Yes, it does not work. So the serial over SSH, to the best of my knowledge, excuse me, to the best of my knowledge, uses the keys the machine was provisioned with. So we do have one more tool available, which is the Rescue OS. So when I click OK here, what happens behind the scenes is the server is rebooted and using Pixie loads Alpine operating system into RAM. And that Rescue OS will have access to all of the keys that I can manage through my profile. So I believe, and how long it takes, that we should be able to get into Rescue OS. And that might just take a moment as well. Maybe if I just hang it for now. Let's click over here. It still says Alpine, so hopefully it's just a matter of waiting a moment or two. I will say that I have tried to use the rescue mode, Rescue OS, a few times, and I have had a lot of complications. Generally, where it's either kicked me off or I've had to kind of tell it to reboot into more than once. I'm not sure what's going on behind the scene, if I'm being too impatient, if I just need to wait or not. Patience is something I'm usually quite good at, but computers not so much. So I'm going to just refresh and I'm going to tell it to reboot into that again. And it's going to tell me it's already there, isn't it? All right. So I think I think I just have to be patient. Oh, there we go. There's a ping already. Time to dance. I don't have your confidence, Rain. Oh, really should have. Boop. Okay. It's pingable, but not SSHable. Does that mean it's rebooted into Ubuntu again? It also says Alpine. That's a pretty quick refusal. That's good. The timing out one means SSH wasn't running. Now I think it is running. I just need to point it to my key, which is here, local. Okay. And now I just have to get rid of that, accept it again. I'm in. Now that we're in Alpine OS, we can mount how dare you? So why is my disk busy? Potentially, I just don't understand the partition setup. So let's check. SDA root partition 3. Let's try again. All right, let's try temp 64 dev SDA 3 temp. Yeah, so it's definitely the device that's busy. Why? What's going on? I'm doing something silly. The answer is usually yes. Let's just take a look. Definitely SDA, right? I've seen that. Can't spell that. Okay. Oh, wait, an SDB and an SDA. Okay, let's try. Dev SDB3. Why are you all busy? I can't mount either of my disks. That's problematic. I will say that. I have the partition type wrong. Resource busy, resource busy, resource busy. What about swap? All right. And well, that's a problem. I know what to do. Okay, let's try. It's not already mounted, right? Let's have a look. Okay. Definitely not mounted. So why would it be busy? I know, I should stop trying this command. Okay, let's check the docs. Rescue. Okay, so we did do that. Yeah, I've tried that. Oh, wait. Oh. Oh, what's that? Some sort of. Oh, okay. Let's try. Oh, say no one ever asks for your help. Dev MD 127. Oh, well, there we go. It helps if you use the right device. So now we're in /mount. We want to reprovision this with my key, which means I just have to go into /mount/root/SSH, and we're going to see my authorized key file here. That had the two previous keys. I had my YubiKey and that test one, which we deleted, which means now I need to, what was that temp directory? There. I get to put in my key. The keys in the temp directory. Let's copy this. And we'll cd into it just so that I can copy that key once more. We're just going to echo. Yep. We're just going to dim. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. And we're going to paste that key in. Now I can jump out. I can U-mount. And reboot. And then our final task is to SSH back in with our temporary key. So grab this IP, I will ping it and be very patient as I wait for my machine to be healthy again and recovered from the destruction of my SSH keys. And still in time for me to catch the opening talk at QCon. Nice. Yay! Yeah, if I can SSH into my machine, I will. I will give a victory boogie very briefly before I quick close on all this, and I'll drink some tea. from my extremely large cup. Machines should reboot faster though. Let's see what we have here. I should start saying Ubuntu now. Good. Right, come on, be faster. Maybe if I stop pinging it, it'll fool it into thinking I've given up. And then when I ping it again, it was worth a try. What I find is like if you just hit return with a little bit more force, computers kind of, they try harder, I think. No. Oh, yeah. It's definitely going to come back online. I definitely haven't broken anything. Right? I don't know if that was a statement or a question. About ping. What's that been? 2 minutes for Linux reboot? Okay, so what did I change? Put it into rescue OS. And all I did was modify my authorized key file. Yeah, I'm confident I haven't broken it. What we can do is maybe watch the machine booting up. Oh, there we go. I need patience. I need more patience. So if we SSH using new key, deleting the known host, SSH in, voila. And I will do my bookie. Cool. I'm pretty chuffed with that. So I hope that's beneficial. I hope you've learned how you can really recover from some serious failures. None of the failure scenarios I covered today were particularly too daunting. Some of the suggestions were to delete and destroy most of my disk. And I think there's definitely a call for me to do videos where we do some kind of more intricate recovery processes that aren't as superficial as SSH keys and root passwords. Those are really easy to fix because we have the tools available to do that. And the off chance that you do something like, say you've got some, I don't know why you would use an DD on a machine like this, but it is possible to accidentally destroy partitions. And we will go through some of those failure scenarios where either it's a case of using the tools that we have, the serial over SSH or the rescue operating system in order to just get data off to migrate it to another machine that is completely foobar, or just been able to re-provision sometimes. Linux is quite nice at helping you with some of this stuff, and that if we come to our app cache, archives, maybe not then. So that I guess the base images won't come with an app cache, but if you had been updating your packages over time, the chances are those devs are still available on the system, which will speed up the process. We can re-provision that way. And of course, there are ways we can pull those files from other machines on the project. So we will look at those kind of failure scenarios. We will get a bit more adventurous, but today was a nice brief kind of introduction into what's available if things go wrong. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. And if you're at KubeCon, feel free to drop me a message on Twitter and we can chat about what we've seen. All right, cheers.